Hmm?
We're live.
You ready to rock, huh?
Yeah, we're live, baby. Um, we're live on Grackle Chatter. We got a little pop-up shack over here in some corner of the universe. Last time we did this, I believe we were in the Bonehead Boneyard, Kouns. Is that correct? And
I believe we were. It was either there or we were in the Shed of Fools. One of those two, for sure. It was one of those spots, I think. Or did we do it from the car? I don't remember.
um,
I do not recall.
man, yeah, we were in the car for a while, and then we were in the at the Attic of Woes and the Shed of Fools. Um, We were in your, I believe we were in your bed screaming carols once. Might have,
Yeah, we actually did it from. We did it from a car outside a venue that wasn't like that was on the road somewhere. I don't remember where. I think that might have been the last time, but I do not recall where.
and the weird thing is we used to be called Jonah and Ezekiel, but now are in our new incarnated names of Zack Kouns and Rick Weaver.
Yeah, it's a new name I'm trying out. Working on this new angle of being myself, and it's not working out well at all.
And then
It's a nightmare.
we got our special guest here today, Rory Hinchey, who I started thinking was named Rory Hinchin for a while, um, and that was really throwing me off. But welcome, Rory. Welcome to the shack of clowns, I guess.
Thank you.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I accept that.
Would you, Rory? Would you answer to Rory Hinchin if there were eggs involved?
Yeah, naturally. If there's
How many
egg,
eggs
I'll
would
pretty
it
much
take?
do whatever's required. Probably week supply.
Oh, weeks of goddamn. Yeah, you're tied into that name. I think I told you about this, Rory, and I know I mentioned this to Rick yesterday, but I want to dive because I think we're gonna really dive deep into the world of online dating today. And
Yeah.
before I actually dive into what I want to talk about, I do want to mention. I don't know if I told you about this, Rory. I think I did actually, but anyway, I'm going to say it again. There was a girl from where you are. So Rory's uh, from the Netherlands. I'm just kidding. He's from St. John. I don't know. Where are you from, Rory? Rory, Rory gave up.
he's he's trying to instill that sense of mystery.
He just gave up on us, Rick. So we've got to decide where he came from. Can't hear you, my buddy. The only
You tell me.
requirement of a
Oh,
radio.
no.
Oh, I'm at the edge of my
The only
seat for this answer.
If I had a collar on and I wasn't completely naked, I'd be pulling it right now.
What, can you hear me now?
For a second,
Oh.
yeah, you're pretty broken up.
No, that sounded great to me. Isn't it great that we
Music
could just
directed.
unite from all corners of the world during this global pandemic into this live Grackle Chatter feature shack of clowns?
Hey,
Yeah, we're gonna have to work on that name.
What, the shack of clowns?
how about now? What about now? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
How about the studio?
momentarily.
How about the studio of wisdom?
Studio, boy, that's really a stark contrast.
No, I mean, fools. I feel like fools are wise. Am I wrong in that thinking?
I think you're right. Actually, now that you put it that way, I think that there's some truth to that there, Rickster. Does
Clowns.
anybody ever call you that?
Yeah, definitely. I've heard it all. Rich, Richie, Rick, Ricky, Flying Dickums. That was an unusual one.
What's your dad call you?
He called me. Well, I went by Ricky. And then I had that sort of 8-year-old grown-up change of no, I'm Rick now. Real.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking about going back to the to Ricky Rickums actually. Ricky Rickums.
Boy, that's a mouthful.
Actually, I just changed my my name. legally.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's in the
What
process
to
in the
what?
Social Security office. I added my spouse's last name, so now I have two last names. No dash. Um,
What's her name? What's her last name?
I am now Richard John Apostolo Weaver. Yeah.
How about that? What prompted that?
Marriage. We're going on 5 years now, but figured it's time to do what I meant to do 4.5 years ago. And you get a
How
free
about
pass on changing your name. You can change it to anything when you get married.
what?
Um,
Really?
yeah, there's a lot of perks to marriage actually, Zach. But I know that you're in the dating world, but just kind of putting that little earworm in there.
Yeah, no, hey, there's truly no there, there's no advantages to being in the dating world, Rick. Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example of why there isn't any advantages to it.
Shoot.
So a couple of nights ago, I dreamt of these mitochondria that were writhing into being from the void and the formlessness that we all come from. And also at the same time, Carly Simon writing the lyrics to You're So Vain. And she was drunk on bottom shelf tequila in a nondescript hotel room while actively planning to kill herself. So I was on a date and I recounted these basically this series of dreams to my date, and she was just absolutely unimpressed by it. I thought that I was really I really felt like I was relaying incredibly interesting information, but she was really doing her very best to redirect the conversation to, I don't know, things that people talk about, jobs, traveling, shit, things that you hope for the future. I don't have any hopes and dreams. I don't have any, I don't really have a job to speak of. I don't even have a plan to leave my house, for the foreseeable future. So, I just kind of changed the subject, and I was just possessed by this intense desire to, because I haven't really been talking to very many people. So I just had this like intense desire to recount this dream as vividly, just as vividly, make it for as real for her as I could. And we were at this, we were at this kind of a diner called the Hot Diggity Dog. There were these really intensely bright lights, and I just got, because it was a diner that was specialized around hot dogs, as you can imagine by the name. And there really wasn't any. I'm a vegetarian, so I don't eat any. I don't. There was very few things for me to eat there, so I just got some French fries, and they were very liberally salted, and just completely untouched because I was just diving deep into this dream, and they were just, my hands were going wildly gesticulating, and I started to wonder about this good old world. Maybe it is, Rick, that I am unlike you, and I don't know much about love. I know you're a married man, and maybe it is that I'm aching and longing, Rick, but I do not know for what. And maybe I'm just a crude painting of a wolf on a prehistoric cave wall. Maybe I'm a video of a wolverine with a goat's head in its mouth passing an unassuming biker on a hiking trail. Well, there's one thing I know for sure. There's one thing I know for certain. When Carly Simon looked out at the world from the window of her shabby hotel room, at a world she didn't want to live in, and when her glassy eyes saw bitter herbs where wild roses once grew, when her mouth tasted bile and her heart was just the ashes of a 3-day-old fire, said out loud the only 3 words that could save her life: "You're so vain." And she said them like a spell, and that spell came true. And I was sitting in that restaurant, and I was alone because my date left, and I tried in that restaurant to say them out loud. I kind of looked at my French fries and said them out loud to my French fries. And Rick, you'll never believe this. They stood up at attention, and they just shivered with all the oil that was on them. And the whole wide world was innervated by this arcane energy that those words contain, and the whole wide world shouted back at me, "You're so vain, Zack." And I know that no matter how lonesome I am, I'm home in this world. So how's that for a piece of wisdom for you?
Um, what kind of French fries were they? What kind of cut?
Crinkle.
Hmm. We just bought some of those. Had some steak cut the other week. Trying the crinkle this week. Um,
Yeah, I'm not a steak cut man myself. I like the curly fries.
I love the curly fries. In fact, I was looped into that, locked in, hooked on them for a good 4 weeks there. Good month of that.
Do you guys have rallies down
I
there?
think shoestring fries, generally, if they're done at home, are pretty much garbage.
Oh yeah, Schuster. They're just not. They're too small for my taste.
Are
I
you
like a bigger fry.
you're talking homemade shoestring?
Or more like you buy them at the grocery store in a bag, and then you just toss them in the oven, and then you eat them.
Yeah.
So, like home cooked, but not homemade, yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to. I think I might take you up on that and just avoid the shoestring phase there. I just got some onion rings waiting in the freezer. Onion
Oh,
rings.
mama, Ricky, like it.
I'm a vegetarian too. I got some plant-based vegan burgers in there. I might pop some of that burger under the buns and pop a few onion rings in there in the mix too, and then
When
slather
did
some
this happen, Rick?
sweet baby rays. I've been vegetarian for over a year now. Yeah,
What a surprise! I did not know that.
yeah, and it's suits me very well. I like it. Every time I took a bite out of a meaty thing in the past, I just could visualize the animal screaming. Let me tell you, I'm no sadist, so it gave me zero pleasure to visualize that. I guess I just felt just felt like I had to get out there and do what everybody else was doing, but I didn't have to do that.
Well, I know we want to dig deep into the dating world on this one, but I'm going to tell you all that I don't know if I don't think I've told you this story of the night that I became a vegetarian. I drank a really intense amount of wormwood tea. So wormwood is the herb that is in that is in um, absinthe that kind of gives it that visionary quality. So I didn't drink absinthe, but I put way more wormwood than what I really should in in my tea. And I was married at the time, and so my wife and I went for a swim, and in a lake that was close to my house at the time, and I could actually hear the voices of the fish that were in the lake, and they were giving me a good talking to. They were actually taking me to task about my decision to kill animals, and I really it scared me shirtless. It really spooked me, and that was the day that I
Was it
thought,
like
well,
a Little Mermaid Under the Sea kind of song and dance thing included?
no, it was very much like a last judgment, and you're before the Almighty Creator of the universe, but the Almighty Creator of the universe is just a school of fish swimming in a giant lake, and I was like, all of my dietary decisions, it was specifically related to my dietary decisions, they were all being reviewed by these fish, and they had I don't know, I think they had the voice of what I would think fish would sound like, really high pitched voices, kind of comical, really, but they were they were letting me have it. It was hard to take it seriously because of their really incredibly high pitched voices, and they really had a hard time sequencing. Like we're doing a good job of sequencing here, but they had a really hard time of talking one at a time. They were just all so eager to let me have it. And their voices sounded similar, but it was distinct. And so they were all just reviewing all of the animals that I ever ate in my entire life. It was just like a horrific hallucinatory experience where I was just basically my entire diet from birth to, I think I was like 27, 28 at the time.
I know I took an ethical stance there earlier, but I actually lied. It wasn't quite as noble as that. I was just trying to sound cool on the radio. Actually, I was in Colorado listening to trolleys, and basically it's longer than that. About a year or two of just getting hooked on fried chicken. Just started stress eating fried chicken, and as a consequence, I was getting fat, and so I thought maybe cutting out the fried meat would help, but a year later, nope, no dice. It's actually the alcohol that is causing the weight gain, sustained weight gain. It's the alcohol, not the meat. But at this point, I'm kind of a stubborn-headed individual, so there's really no turning back.
You're just gonna keep pounding them, huh, Rick?
Pounding the plant-based burgers. Yep, one after another. And I'm gonna throw
so
fried
if you were stressed
onion rings.
out, if you were stressed out, how many pieces of chicken would you eat?
Oh, I guess it was mainly chicken sandwiches, but there's this. You guys ever heard of Raising Cane's?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of chicken tenders from Raising Cane's. Raising Cane's that's all they sell, and then some sauce to go with it. So I was eating a lot of that, and then some like fried chicken sandwiches as well. Basically anytime I could get anything fried. And you know what? I'm not stressed anymore. I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky guy now that we're all, stay at home and shelter in place, and I don't have to socialize as much anymore. But I still eat fried food all the time. I mean, fried onion rings, fried okra. I had fried okra last night. Fried, fake things, all that,
Yeah. You ever had the fake meat crab cakes before?
Yeah, and the fishless sticks.
Oh yeah, boy, that's a taste they just can't replicate. It doesn't work out at all. They do a pretty good job on burgers. Like the consistency of fake burgers now they really actually. I don't know. Like I don't. It's been a long time since I've eaten a burger, but it seems like to me that they're really on the money with them. Like they have the same consistency of like biting into them. Some places do.
Yeah, I express things in poetry often, as you know, Zack. And I did write a poem about plant-based burgers. Ran quinoa through my hair, burped the bagel.
Huh.
So,
I've never thought of that before in my life. That's the first time I've ever thought of that before in my life. Somebody getting up to all that.
You never burped the bagel before?
I'm not a bagel man.
Hey, Rory, do they have those delicious bagels up in Canada? I know they do in Montreal, but in Canada in a larger sense?
What kind of bagels are we talking?
I'm assuming you're the expert on all things Canadian here, but I don't know if I need a pretext for that, for context for the zero listeners.
Yeah, I think part of the problem for me is, like Zack, I'm also not a bagel man. So, I mean, I know in general we have them. However, I can't say if they're really the Uber bagel or if it's just the standardized common bagel.
Gotcha. What are you eating these days?
Can you describe the bagel?
Yeah. Oh, me?
Yeah. What's this Canadian bagel that you're thinking is up there?
I could definitely describe, but I'd kind of like to hear the non-bagel talkers on the show describe the bagel.
Oh, I don't know. Just just like a cardboard piece of bread. That's what it tastes like to me. I don't like cream cheese either. That seems to be the common accoutrement. So I don't like cream cheese either. So I don't know, just anything you'd put on a bagel, I just have no interest. And it just seems like to me that it's just like it's an extremely difficult to eat piece of bread. You really got to put so intense amount of work into eating this goddamn piece of bread, and I don't know, it just doesn't have any flavor to me at all. I know there are different types of bagels. I've just never met a bagel I liked.
Fair enough.
What's your thoughts? Rory?
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with any of those sentiments. I think, I mean, I don't even really eat bread a whole lot. So to go eating a bagel, it just seems really gratuitous. Yeah, there's no advantage to it from my point of view. It's just like a big hunk of carbs waiting for me to settle on my belly, which is just not necessary.
So, like, a loaf of bread is sort of the gateway, and once you're in the bread world, like, the bagel is just, you're getting far into the bread world at that point. You're deep into bread once you start eating bagels. Is that kind of the sentiment here?
I would think so. It's funny because over here in Prague, people really go nuts for just baked goods, like at the bus stop or a train station. They just have these little kiosks where the person is selling nothing but baked goods and bagels, particularly, or buns that they'll put butter on, or like all that kind of paraphernalia. But yeah, I don't really see the appeal to it. I don't find that kind of stuff really holds long in terms of suppressing appetite. Yeah, it's just you need some protein in there. I'm not saying, I know both of you guys are obviously vegetarian. I'm not saying you got to go down the meat avenue here, but you can get some eggs together. You can get some fucking I don't know, soy-based plant kind of protein stuff going. There's plenty of options, but yeah, carbs ain't cutting it, I'm afraid.
What I like to do is slap a fried chickenless sandwich in between a bagel, slather the bagel with veganaise and buttermilk ranch, cheapest bottom shelf ranch you could find. And then when you take a bite, it just like the sauce just shoots out of the bagel hole, makes a total mess. And then you can just start dipping the bit. This is what happens when you eat at home too long. It's been. I'm like an animal in a cave at this point, but I thought that would sound like a good tip in favor of the bagel, but I was actually working against my case there by describing it.
Yeah,
So
that sounds terrible.
I'm gonna back out of this one.
Well, no, you're in the hot seat, Rick. Now that Rory and I have backed you into bagel corner here. I don't think I want to let this one go here.
Yeah, I'm not winning anybody on the bagel fence today.
Yeah, you got me off the bagel fence, and I've jumped over on the other side of the field, and I'm running as far away from that sucker as I can get.
I was thinking it would be great if.
Yeah, this is probably the most I've thought about bagels.
And any turn, anything stirring? No appetite, nothing stirring in the bowels or the guts.
You have not made the bagel sale at all for me.
Well, I have been envisioning a bagel cafe. What do they call it? Coffee shop, where the music that they play is all parody songs. So it'd be like a parody cafe. Because I don't know, I don't really, like Weird Al or whatever, but I guess first the world would have to change completely and all music would have to be a parody of something. But I guess there'd have to be enough original music that the parody music was parodying the original music, but then enough popularity within society to warrant just like that would make the sale. This is a parody cafe. You come in, you hear parody songs. But I was trying to think of some songs that it would play in this parody bagel coffee shop, and I could really only think of one.
Yeah, let's hear it. What would be the track?
It would be No More Beers, sung to No More Tears by Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, is that a song or does it need to be created?
Oh, great! Is this? No, yeah, it would need to be created. Yeah, no, this is original. But I was listening to my spouse shared a great parody song on the internet, which I'm sure you could search for, called "Burgers on the Grill." Sung to the tune of "Riders on the Storm" by the Doors.
Ooh,
I enjoyed it
that's
thoroughly.
that's
Really
sacred
bad.
territory. Doors are sacred territory. I can't condone that at all. That just won't do it for me at all. I can't. I just can't. I couldn't abide that.
Well, let me just pitch this to you, Zach.
Yeah, let's try it.
If clowns are wise, as we
Yeah.
posited earlier in this Grackle Chatter, um, then is not a parody song in honor bestowed upon the original progenitor?
Now I'm gonna say no. I think that like clowns are wise when they're funny. I can't get into parody songs, but specifically ones that involve like that involve the Doors. I can't see how that would be funny at all to me.
Yeah, yeah.
I,
You know,
I think I think I would find that really irritating.
well, let me describe it to you. And in describing it, it's going to take longer than it would to actually listen. Have you ever seen that when somebody describes a comic strip, and it's totally unfunny at all and a total waste of time? That's what I'm going to do right now. So instead of the rain sound, they use the sizzle of the grill.
Oh, okay. You're getting me into it.
Ooh.
You're getting me into it. Continue, please.
We got one up and one down. Is that one thumb up and one thumb down?
I'm gonna give that a thumbs
Correct.
up. I actually like that.
All right, so the grill is sizzling, and then it's actually about the leftovers of a sort of family barbecue. So it's burgers on the grill, burgers on the grill. I think I've had my fill of burgers on the grill. And you know, I haven't vetted this. I hope this isn't some like weird alt-right YouTube channel that I'm promoting right now. You never know anymore. Maybe I should vet this user. Have you ever found that you're listening to like what if God was one of us, and then it turns out the user is like a neo-Nazi? Has that ever happened to you guys?
No, I don't know. I guess I don't vet things very well. Like you know, the only thing I do when I'm on YouTube is read the comments,
Yeah.
and they're always so goddamn heartbreaking. I was watching this Waylon Jennings song, and this person that must have just been from another country wrote on there, Waylon Jennings is like Elvis' father. And I looked at that, and I looked at that, and I looked at that, and then I looked a little bit more, and I thought, well, I just can't believe I read that out. I had to actually say, I called a friend to just say it out loud to them, and then I hung up immediately after that, because I wanted to say it out loud to someone. There was nobody here. You know, I'm here in the woods, and I thought, I must be hallucinating. No one's ever wrote that out before. Let's just see and it wasn't enough for me to just say it out loud. I had to say it out loud to another person. And I didn't really give her long to respond, I'll admit. I just said, Waylon Jennings is Elva's father. And she said, oh, how are you doing today, Zach? And I hung up. I just really wanted to say, I needed to say that out loud. So I don't vet channels the way I probably should.
Yeah, I just vetted the channel. Yeah, it's pretty disturbing. So now I kind of feel
Oh.
bad. But I'm actually not sure if that was a repost of something. Now I'm kind of trying to find who actually wrote the damn song. But yeah, you got to be careful these days. I mean, you think you're just listening to Oasis Champagne Supernova, and in fact, you're supporting fascism. So I don't know.
It sneaks up on you like that sometimes.
Yeah, one day it's Oasis, and then you find out you're being radicalized in the process of being radicalized.
Isn't that so strange? Like last night, I was like walking downtown in this. You know, I live in a quote unquote red state in Tennessee. I know you kind of do too, Rick, there in Texas. And I was walking downtown in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, which is kind of this little tourist town. And I know you both are familiar with it. And there was a guy wearing a Pink Floyd shirt. It was a Pink Floyd Animals shirt, you know, the album Animals. And he was wearing a Trump hat. And I thought how incongruent that is. Isn't that really strange? Because it really got me thinking, like, has anybody that likes Pink Floyd, has anybody in the history of people that like Pink Floyd liked Trump? I would have always thought in my mind, no, there's too much incongruency there. But apparently it's happened at least one time, I know. I mean, I assume he voted for Trump, voted for Trump. But it seems like to me, like, or that really got me thinking, like, has anybody that likes the Who ever liked fascism? I'm just saying no, but I think that they do, though.
The Who?
Yeah, like the band, the Who. I would have always thought, oh, they're people that like the Who are just, there's a really fine line, or there's not a fine line, but a really hard line of people that are just, if you like the Who, you're against fascism, and that's that. But I think maybe fascists don't really have a hard line like that. They just hear Bob O'Reilly on the radio and they're just rocking it. They're just rocking.
Yeah. I mean, not everybody listens to lyrics either.
I think that's it. Yeah, I focus so tremendously on lyrics. In fact, if people just if music was just people reading lyrics, I would be just happy as a clam, probably.
Oh, I found out we're in great company, actually. So I found the writer of the song is Bob Rivers. Bob Rivers is, I'm just going to read this from Wikipedia, guys, is one of the best-known rock and roll radio on-air personalities in the northwestern United States, as well as a prolific producer of parody songs. So we're in great company here. I'm glad that I went into detail about Burgers on the Grill. I know I'm kind of steered you towards it, Zach, and it looks like Rory, it's just a hard no, but the zero listens.
Maybe I just gotta listen to it. Yeah, I'm not saying I wouldn't listen to it.
So, I bet I would dislike it a lot more if I listened to it. I don't like the way that you're describing it. Sounds really great, but I really detest parody songs. I mean, maybe I just don't like songs in general. Just like the idea of creating a song in general seems to me to be, pretty much a waste of time. But, add on top of that somebody just parody, if that's already a waste of time, and that's a given, and I think I pretty much made my case on that front. Well,
Well, here's a question for you guys.
What's that?
So, here's a question for you guys. You're obviously familiar with the Bachman-Turner Overdrive song, "Taking Care of Business." I mean, it's Canadian, but
certainly.
I know.
Yeah.
It's big.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So Randy Bachman, I don't know, maybe about 10 years ago, I wouldn't call it a parody, I guess a reworking of the song in a Christmas theme, and it's called "Taking Care of Christmas." So would this be fit to play at the Parody Cafe? Because it's not really a parody. Yeah, you think it would be?
So your argument is that it rides. First off, I'm writing it down just so I can listen later, because I can't.
It's really rough.
Taking Care of Christmas.
Yeah.
All right.
Staple on Canadian classic rock radio, even though it's not technically a classic rock song. But
you're saying that the artist himself revisited his hit and put in the word Christmas where it used to say business.
Yeah, and then also change the lyrics generally across the board to make it more about Santa instead of it being, somebody taking care of business for their own purposes.
That would be interesting, because I don't know any of the original lyrics of that song.
I know that's like, what does he change working overtime to, Rory?
Oh, man. I'll remember this as soon as we're done with this.
Are you getting bit over there?
Pretty close, yeah. I'm trying to balance a few things here.
I think Rory just got attacked by a dog there.
That lady sounded like she was speaking in English, Rory.
I didn't catch that. I was a little preoccupied with other dog-related queries.
Oh, we were just worried that you were attacked by a dog. And
yeah, not yet. I think it's probably overdue, though.
Have you ever been attacked by a dog?
Uh, yeah, it was a really small dog though, so it wasn't all that bad. But
Oh yeah, I don't even know if that counts.
yeah, it was like biting my shoes and stuff. So it was out in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, it was like technically a dog attack, but pretty mild as far as they go.
There's just a feral wild dog in the middle of nowhere that was tiny attacked you. Is this?
Yeah, that's pretty well it.
Oh, actually, I did think of one when I was like 18. I'm just kind of to circle back around to parodies. There was one really funny parody song that was made up. I was working in this kitchen when I was like 18 years old. And this guy did like, oh, they played just shitty classic rock stuff on the radio. And he would just do on the fly parodies that were pretty funny. So he changed, I don't know who's the singer of this, but the 2 Tickets to Paradise, he changed it to, and he was actually like working with Chicken at the time, and he changed it to, I've got 3 chickens to paralyze. That really.
3 chickens to paralyze.
Yeah.
So
I thought that was pretty.
There was a live.
Now that I'm thinking about it, that's pretty good.
Why wouldn't he keep it at 2 chickens to paralyze though?
I don't know why. I think he actually was actually cutting up 3. He was a butcher, so I think he was actually cutting up 3 chickens at the time.
Okay.
Not really paralyzing them.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's pretty good, actually. I'm not a parody man. I'm not a parody song man, but that's pretty good. I'll have to say.
This live poultry market in Philadelphia went in to get a chicken, and the cashier had you pick out the live chicken, they take it and they chop its head off and pluck it right there, and then hand it to you in a plastic bag with a "Have a nice day." So it's like warm in your hands as you're driving with it in your lap. I don't know why you have to drive with it in your lap. That's just a Weaver thing, I guess. The cashier had a homemade shirt that said just got caught tweeting, for Twitter, I guess, but it was the Twitter bird, but she worked in the live poultry market. Okay, the 3 chickens one was better. I like Weas there, but
yeah, hers isn't really a parody. It's just crassly insensitive. That she's just there's chickens being slaughtered right in front of people.
And the chicken got caught tweeting, so it had to be slaughtered. Yeah, what about those chicken shops where they just got the cute cartoon chicken? I love those, and it's come eat me,
Oh yeah, there's actually, I just took a picture of this in Gatlinburg. I was thinking about this because in Gatlinburg there's a chicken joint, like a local chicken joint, and outside of this there's a really crudely drawn chicken, like a rooster, but he's it's anthropomorphized so that he's kind of like Foghorn Leghorn or something like that. And so just outside of this chicken joint, there's an anthropomorphized giant chicken, it's really man-sized. It's probably 5.5, 6 feet tall, like a cutout, not a cardboard cutout, but maybe plywood. And there's a little cartoon bubble coming out from his mouth, and it just says "Eat me." And I thought that's the cruelest thing you could. What a cruel piece of propaganda, no chicken in the history of chickens has ever explained, come on, baby, I'm an all-you-can-eat buffet. Come on down. You want to chomp? You hungry? Slaughter me, baby.
There's this
Kill me.
One place in Belgium that I walked by. They have a business there called Chicken Phone. Chicken Phone. Some kind of food business called Chicken Phone.
What could that be?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Remember Pizza Jazz, Rory?
I sure do. I wonder if it's still here.
Oh man, it's got to be. It looked like it did look like it was. It had been there for a while.
There was also Steak Mountain was another one.
Yeah.
I'd climb that.
Squishy. Sounds like it'd be squishy.
Yeah, it'd be hard to get up there.
Squishy mountain of
I
meat.
feel like it'd be sliding down.
It doesn't even need to be that high. It's going to be really difficult to climb based on just all the grease you're having to deal with on the way up.
Yeah, could really be just like a steak hill or a steak mound.
Let's take a poll.
Yeah.
How high would it need to be?
I wouldn't get on it regardless. So if it was just like a little rolling hill, that'd be enough for me. I don't know. If there was just like a bunch of steak and that was the terrain, I would just say I'd avoid it. I wouldn't get anywhere near it personally. I mean, imagine how bad it would stink. I mean, you just think about it. It would have to be for it to be a terrain for it to be a noticed terrain. It would have to be there for a while for people to even be able to do topography on it or, whatever, chartography. And so, steak after a couple of days out in the sun, man, it's good. That's going to be like the stinkiest place in the, wherever you are, that's going to be really stinking pretty badly.
Yeah, this time of the year, I'm thinking, is when you need to try and climb Steak Mountain.
Yeah.
The dead of the summer. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got like
It's going to be flies all over the place.
for adventurers. It's like a Mount Everest challenge.
Yeah. For
And
masochists.
Where is
Yeah.
where is it located? This meat mountain, steak mountain.
I think it should be located in probably Central America, so it's always nice and hot there all year round.
Yeah, just, and the deal is you have to do it barefoot.
Yeah.
You can't.
They just keep adding more steaks to it over time as it starts to decay to ensure that it maintains the height above sea level that it's known for.
What does that job pay? You think? Chucking
To climb
steaks on just taking the van over and just chucking steaks into the steak mountain in somewhere in South America where it's hot.
I'd say somebody would just do it for free for the joy of it.
Yeah.
And then I guess you'd have some short order cook. I should have asked this earlier. Are the steaks cooked or are they raw?
I think they're like medium rare.
So at first, when they first chuck them, you could probably grab a couple and have a nice dinner by the mountain.
You could. I think maybe that's kind of how you get geared up for it.
Yeah, it's the only way you can have the strength to climb Steak Mountain is you chomp down a couple of those bad boys, medium rare, and then you're ready to rock. You're ready to take your shoes off and just start, get your bare hands in there and just start climbing, baby. See how high you can get.
A vegetarian Steak Mountain, like made out of some equivalent. Just keep it fair here.
Right
Maybe it could
next
be
to it. Right next to it.
Yeah.
You get it as just like Tofu Mountain or Seitan Mountain. Just getting into those squishy goddamn beans as high as you can climb.
Baked Bean Mountain. Bean Mountain, I love it. Just a sloppy mess.
I'd climb that and I'd be eating all the way up, baby.
Charo Mountain.
Oh man. Yeah.
Sloppy Bean Mountain.
You just got to put some kind of stuff like a sauce on it that'll make it nice and stinky in place of the fact that it wouldn't probably get as stinky as the original Steak Mountain would under the conditions we outlined. Yeah.
I'm thinking like a barbecue sauce. You know?
Yeah. That'll draw the bees and flies that you need and mice and all that kind of stuff.
I'm thinking
slathering that baby.
I'm thinking we got a box store and we do this in interior, and it's actually a food establishment. I was ready to invest in this parody idea, but it's far inferior compared to this idea. So we get a box store in South America where it's hot year round. We could do it like the Astrodome, where you could cover the ballpark, kind of, so to speak. But each mountain is essentially a course of the meal or a side dish. Or it could be a meat and three.
Yeah.
And I've got a good twist on this too. So you go in, you order your meal, but the only way to eat your meal, all the tables are on top of Bean Mountain. So you actually have to climb Bean Mountain to get your food.
This is getting
And
better.
you have like a 3-star Michelin chef preparing the meals, so they're free. The meals are free if you can get up to the top of Bean Mountain. And it's just like the most sumptuously prepared meal of your entire life. But you can only get it if you can climb up to the top of it.
And the person tossing the beans into the mountain is just doing it out of the
And
joy
there's a
of his
dessert
heart.
option.
What's that?
They have only one dessert option, and that's circus peanuts. All you can eat circus peanuts.
Oh, that sounds delicious. What's the take on circus peanuts? As hard on that as you guys are on bagels?
I hate them. I hate circus peanuts. It's like the most inferior Halloween candy of them all.
When I was a child, I thought those wax teeth were candy.
Pretty bad.
Well, that explains a lot, Rick.
I mean, they sold them in the candy shop. Nobody told me they weren't candy. I bought them at the candy store. Started eating them. Like, this is just wax.
Yeah, well, they wrap things in plastic at the candy store too, Rick. You slurp down the plastic as well, melt it down, make a nice little plastic dessert drink.
Yeah.
Like
I'll tell you a
milkshake.
story. I've been lazy enough in the past, multiple times, not ashamed to admit it, where like the Laffy Taffy melts in the car or whatever, and it's just you can't get the wrapper off of it, so you just kind of chew it down, sort of grab the shards, the teared pieces of the wrapper as they become undone by your teeth as you get to the gooey melted center.
Oh, I know that game. Yeah, I played that game before.
But yeah, the wax teeth. There's no we're justifying that one. Somebody should have told me. I was a poor little child here. Telling my parents. My parents bought me it. They're like, "What candy do you want?" I want the Sour Patch Kids. I want the wax teeth. And then the Sour Patch Kids you can eat, but the wax teeth, you're not supposed to eat that.
Yeah, they're flavored with like birch, though. They are actually pretty tasty.
The teeth?
Yeah, they're flavored with like that birch that like birch syrup, from like birch trees.
Are you? Okay, well I'll give it a shot again. I mean, I'm already acclimated to it.
Yeah, I'm not trying to talk you into eating something that's inedible, but I think they are. I think they actually are. Maybe they are meant to be eaten. I've never eaten them because I'm not a deranged fool. But
sure they are. Yeah, I just don't think they're especially tasty. I think they're pretty low end. I'd rather eat circus peanuts. That's a statement.
That's a tough one for me. I really hate circus peanuts. God, I don't know.
Wax or circus peanuts?
God, that's wax. I mean, it's flavored wax.
Yeah, your flavored wax thing doesn't hold up though, because candles are scented. Like, so you're saying that a candle that smells like whiskey is gonna? Would that be? Well, yeah, maybe it does. Is that more favorable than circus peanuts?
Yeah, for me, for sure.
Eating a whiskey scented candle.
Yeah, I'd be into that.
over circus peanuts, Rory?
Yeah, I would. I absolutely would.
Well, I'd say for me, well, you're kind of conflating the wax lip, the wax teeth thing, because they're actually like, they're not scented with it. It's not like a scented candle. They're actually like, they're made with like birch syrup. So it's like, it's actually in it's not just a smell, it's actually in the flavor of them.
Are you talking about root beer barrels?
No.
Flavor?
No, I
Okay. So the wax teeth are actually flavored. So when you wear them, like you're pretending to be a vampire or whatever,
Yeah. Mhm.
you're getting a little bit
Yep.
of a birch kick to your gums.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think they actually taste pretty good. I've eaten them.
Well,
Now that you mention it, I've eaten them before. I think they are meant to be eaten.
wax teeth.
Yeah. I just had them for dinner last night. That was my
What's for
dinner.
dinner?
Have you ever tried to eat wax? Eat a shoestring fries with your wax teeth in?
Not until tonight.
That's peanuts.
You know, I bet those shoestring fries on Bean Mountain are pretty tasty.
Oh yeah, yeah. You got that Michelin chef up there just frying them up all the time, baby.
Yeah, he does them right.
What about
For anybody who can.
for anybody who can make it?
I eat a bagel up there.
Oh God, that's tough. I mean, I'd be so hungry from climbing it. Yeah, I guess I'd eat it. I feel like you just got to have the right. You got to have the right ingredients to be able to enjoy it. You know, I don't know. I'd eat it. I'd try it. I don't know if I eat the whole thing, but I'd try it.
Give me all the most disgusting, repugnant food that I wouldn't normally eat, and after I climb Steak Mountain, I'd gladly eat it, if only just to be able to say that I ate it on Steak Mountain.
Yeah, I wonder, is that the kicker? Like after you climb it, after you put this tremendous effort to climbing this goddamn repugnant food mountain, you actually up there you have to eat your least favorite foods. What a deal.
Bagel, wax teeth, and circus peanuts.
Yeah, this is what you got, and they don't even put it on a plate. They just put it on top of the beans.
And when you're done, the lights go out, and you just have to find your way back down the mountain.
You slide down it head first.
Slide down on your ass. Yeah.
Like a Pete Rose slide, right down the mountain, baby, head first, baby.
Yeah.
Well,
fellas, I got to say my time is drawing close to an end, but yeah, I think because we're getting close to the 1 hour mark here.
Oh man, feels like we just started.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think we're still on the first segment here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're still
Yeah, let's
riffing
see,
off
do we have any-
that Tinder date you talked about, Zach.
Yeah, in a very strange way. Yes, we are. in a very strange, completely convoluted way. Yes, we are ripping on that. Let's see. Do we have questions for? Let's see if we got questions for the big man while we got him on the line. What do you think, Rick? Do you have any closing thoughts? Any burning questions?
I would say the eternal burning, basically rhetorical question. What makes Toronto tick?
Oh my God.
Yeah, that it is really a rhetorical question when it comes down to it. But if I had to give a very direct answer to it, I'd say it's the people in the park. They make Toronto tick.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
You know, I think you're really right. Actually, that kind of brings me to a story that involves Rick and I. And I think you were off somewhere else for this story. I don't know if we've ever even told you this story, but I'm going to go ahead and dig into it while we got you on the horn.
Yeah.
Unless you have any more questions for Rory, Rick.
No, that was it. That's all I got down in my notebook here.
Yeah, I was hoping we get. I think he answered that question for us, Rick. We've been asking that question for about 6 years now.
It's the people and the park.
Yeah, I think it's also parking tickets. I think that really makes Toronto tick.
Yeah.
I could finally rest easy.
Yeah,
at
tickets
night,
make Toronto tick.
at least on that front.
So, Rory, I don't think we've told you this story. I don't think I've told you this story. So, Rick and I, when we played that Buddha's something or other, Smiling Buddha, when we played that place, Rick and I started wandering through the town and I was putting in my we were putting our equipment in my trunk in my vehicle, and I was making this sound that I thought was a lot like a jaguar. I don't know, I was on a real jaguar kick.
Like you would.
This girl that was in the park actually made a comment about it, is the way I remember it, and Rick can correct me if I'm wrong, but she said something about a jaguar. And so we just both didn't say a word to her. We both just ran at max speed, hopped this fence to get over into to this park, and just started basically grilling her about where to get mushrooms. Where do we get mushrooms? We've got to have them tonight. We've got to have them tonight.
I think I was the sidekick in this scenario, but yeah.
Okay.
Were you still barefoot at this point, Zach?
I was barefoot at this point. Yes. I was totally barefoot, and that was like the first question to her. We like ran max speed over this girl that made this jaguar sound, and she was like a crust punk kind of gal, like just sleeping in the park. And the first question was just, well, how do we get mushrooms tonight? Got to have them. And she actually was helpful. She said, well, I've got a friend. Let me go ahead and call him. And yeah, I should be able to get that for you. And, maybe, give me a half an hour, give me an hour, something along those lines. And we both said, that's fine. But then I got on this kick where I just said this over and over again. And I don't know why I did it. I said, well, I'm not going to give you any. If that's what you think you're getting in this, I'm not going to give you any at all. I'll give you a finder's fee, but you don't get to touch the mushrooms at all. They're just for us. I need you to understand that. And I probably repeated it to her, and Rick may have a different memory than I do about this. I felt like I repeated this to her like a dozen, maybe 24 times. Just kept emphasizing it over and over again. Well, it's just for us. The mushrooms are just for us. Just because you're helping us find them doesn't mean that you're going to get any, which was just a terrible, really, really terrible. I realized like what a stupid thing that was to do. And in the course of me emphasizing and overemphasizing this, she finally just said, you know what? Fuck you guys. I'm not going to get you any mushrooms in. That's the way you're going to act. And she helped do that. We didn't get any mushrooms from her. Is that your memory, Rick?
Yeah, well, I remember two things happening that weekend. In that instance, the group that she was with, they all turned on us and were under the impression that you were a narc. You were some kind of undercover cop, even though you were screaming like a jaguar and walking around barefoot. And yeah, and they were all kind of it was getting kind of antagonistic by the end. I think my role at that point was one of both curiosity and protector. I think I was like, I better go with Zack. Yeah, mainly mainly. I guess I was just being amused. But anyway, in another instance. Yeah, in that instance, we were regarded as these undercover cops or whatever. But then another time, we just went to the pharmacy just to look around, and a guy
I was trying to find cold syrup with codeine in it.
Oh, okay, so there was a sort of nefarious purpose to it.
Yeah.
But regardless, like when we left the store. This guy with his hand in his pocket, like he had a gun, just cornered us, grabbed us in the alley and cornered us and thought we were, thieving. You remember that?
I do remember that.
He said, what were you doing in there? What's in your pockets? Take it out. Take it out. He thought we had shoplifted, which we certainly did not. We were really just browsing. And to clarify, your shoes were on at this point. This was another day.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know.
I will never forget your response to him, Rick, because I was going to try and talk sense to him. And that's one of my big mistakes in this life, is trying to talk sense to people, because that's just, in a lot of situations, that just isn't possible. But your response was very much, and it reminds me of a story that I'm going to tell while we have Rory in the line. You two really mirrored one another in this, because I always think, well, I can talk sense to this person, but you were very much like, get lost, get out of here, get lost, just like shooing him off like like he was like a rabid dog, very much just like, very matter of fact, like, get the fuck out of here, get lost. While I was in the middle of saying, oh no, we didn't shoplift. Here, I'll let you look in my pockets, no problem, my buddy, no problem here. You were, because you're a city slicker, because you're familiar with cities, and you're familiar with how these things work. You were very much like, you just did what needed to be done in that situation. Whereas I was gonna show him everything in my pockets, and I probably would have admitted to stealing, even though I hadn't. He had me in that situation, and it actually reminds me of a story. One of the things you've done that like really impressed me the most, Rory, is when we were in that train station in Italy, and that really deranged man was there, like just screaming at us in Italian, and I was at a loss. I was trying to talk to him, and he was screaming, particularly at our friend Adam Bradley, and like throwing stuff at him, and I was like, trying to be the voice of reason. Obviously, there wasn't an option to be a voice of reason here. You had to be, you had to be really abrupt with him and short with him, and that's not my strength at all. And you were just like, he was like basically verbally assaulting, and seemingly was about to physically assault Adam, our friend Adam,
for no reason, totally unprovoked.
Yeah, he just like, his eyes just locked with ours. That's what it was. It's just like he saw us and just like saw us as prey. He was like the circling back to Jaguars. He was like the Jaguar, and we were like Steak Mountain to him, for sure.
Metaphor or simile, I guess. But certain figurative language at use.
So he locked in, and like specifically Adam, he was focusing all his energy on Adam, and Adam was so weakened at that point. Not that Adam's weak, but he was weakened at that point where, the road was not being kind to him.
Mm-hmm.
And you just went straight up to him and just said, "Get out of here, get lost!" Like he was like he was a stray dog that was like, trying to beg meat from us. And that impressed me so much. Like that kind of thing just never occurs to me at all. It never occurs to me to do that to a person. And it makes sense. I'm saying it like was a bad thing, but it wasn't. It was the only appropriate response to this guy doing this. And he did.
He looked pretty sad about it, actually, too.
He was really deflated about it. And then remember, we ran into him later that night in the train station. He was in the train station again, and he gave us the evil eye. I mean, he was giving us the stink eye for like, we were in this goddamn train station all night. And he was like staring at us, talking to himself, muttering to himself. I think he just wasn't mentally well. And, but he didn't come over. He gave us dirty looks, but he did not come over and try to like start anything with us, because you put the fear in him.
There was this fellow in Philadelphia in public transportation. While you'd wait for the subway, he'd come out and say, "No, the train's not coming today," and then walk away. while smoking a cigarette, like on a one of those filter tips, And everyone would kind of look at each other like, "Is he right?" And then the train would, just come on time as it would by clockwork. But yeah, you used to just walk in and smoke a cigarette. Train's canceled. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't want to keep you, Rory, but that's kind of our style. We're just gonna keep you. until you just kind of forcibly leave yourself. But we are well over an hour if that was your time frame. Grackle Chatter tends to know no bounds of time. But before you do leave, I do want to say thank you very much for accompanying us on this journey through the sky or shack or whatever it is. The sky of bagels. And on a trip up Bean Mountain.
Yeah, the initial trip up Bean Mountain.
Yep, the inaugural Bean Mountain and Steak Mountain trek. Yeah. Well, all I gotta say is I hope that we go up there yet again one of these days. I'd be happy to accompany you fellas. You never know what you'll find on a trip up that way. Maybe they'll increase the options on the menu as well.
I do hope we work on the menu. If the only option is bagels at this point, I really want to work on that menu. What's that sound? Are people talking there?
Oh yeah, yeah. They got a whole Grackle Chatter check thing going on here of their own. So
can you tell them to shut their mouths?
Yeah,
can you tell them to be quiet?
Radio.
We're on radio. Can you tell them please to be quiet and shut their mouths?
I probably could. I don't know if it'd be a good idea.
Put me on with him. I'll tell him. hold the phone, baby. I'll tell him.
And then poor Rory's gonna leave and have to deal with this thing that you're starting.
I was reading.
Well, on that note, I think I probably will leave right now.
Okay. Yeah, they're probably hearing me. You should probably run out of there. Run from them as quickly as possible.
Thank you, Rory. We'll do it again.
Ellers, thanks a lot. Talk to you later.
Thanks, buddy. It was good. It was great talking to you.
Oh yeah, it's been a pleasure. Bye bye.
Goodbye. Oh man, now we're in trouble.
I know we could pull this off as two, but don't you feel a little bit of an emptiness inside of you now?
Yeah, Rory's he's a good person to bounce ideas off of. He always surprises me in the best way imaginable. He always comes up with things that I would just never. One of my benchmarks for friendship is that people come up with things that I would never come up with on my own. And he always does. He always surprises me.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
See, now it's awkward, just the two of us.
Yeah, we didn't have any trouble talking over one another before.
Are you?
We usually never do. We usually
never. Yeah, never.
We usually just both talk. No one listens.
Are you
nothing resolved?
You know, we've had. Yeah. Are you butt naked in that shack over there?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm not. I haven't put on clothes at all. It's Sunday. Sunday fun day.
You know, I showered. I got on a polo shirt for this. I don't know. I just had to feel a little bit clean on my exterior for this. But have you noticed that your body, as you age, just gets harder and harder to clean? Like stay clean for a duration of time?
I never clean my body.
Well.
I never wash.
So you're surrounded by your own stink. So you probably wouldn't know how you're coming off to other people.
I don't think I stink though. I really don't. I've asked. I really think that I have a generally good smell.
I can smell you from here.
Come on, Rick.
No, I'm
Give
just
me
kidding.
a break here.
I can smell my own breath though, and my breath has been getting worse and worse.
Really?
Oh yeah, really, really bad. I mean, I brush, I floss, do the Listerine.
That never happens to me.
I've never had bad breath in my life, and actually, you know what? It's been kind of growing over the past year. It might be the vegetarian thing.
Well, I'm a vegetarian. I really think my breath never stinks.
But maybe meat had some kind of cleansing property for myself.
Yeah, maybe it's time to go back, if for no other reason than to cure your halitosis.
Well, how about I stay vegetarian, but I brush with some of that meat off of that mountain.
Yeah, you should definitely brush with rotting meat. I think that will help that'll help your bad breath problem. Yeah, no problem. That'll knock it out lickety split.
Well, that's good. Yeah, one cure for the loneliness, Zach. I know you don't like to get lectured very much, but the emptiness without Rory in this the Skype call that we're doing, um, live on YouTube, streaming Grackle Chatter, just us talking on the phone, essentially. Um, the cure for that emptiness that Rory once filled would be, have you ever considered settling down?
I've been thinking about it a lot, Rick, lately. Yes, I've been going on a lot of dates, and just I tell you what, it isn't doing it for me anymore. It isn't doing it for me. I'm ready to bring love into my life. It's been in my life before, and yeah, I'm ready to bring somebody into this show.
Okay.
Definitely.
Well, I could arrange that.
You're in what way? Are we talking like an arranged marriage type situation?
That's exactly what we're talking about.
A farmer's agreement?
Yep. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's like a medieval term where people would basically just marry so that they weren't, so that they had a regular person to give physical affection to them, but also to like help on the farm.
Oh, yeah,
like farms
certainly.
are hard to run. They need at least two steady hands. So it would be that type of situation.
Oh, yeah, certainly. That sounds fantastic. Well, no. Nah, this is 21st century. This is the land of plenty. If you want it to be a simple farmer's agreement, but let's go all the way. Let's find you some love.
Oh, yeah, Rick, I'm so lonely. Please, let's, whatever it takes.
Yeah, sure. Actually got some options here. I do this on a regular basis. Looking through the database here, flipping through the ledgers, my little books here, and okay. Dank Tarn. Does that Dank Tarn?
Dank
Tarn. That's not a name, that's a description. That's a description.
Potential mate?
Potential mate. Down by the Dank Tarn.
Oh, I don't know, like as a place to meet? A place to get married?
No, physical description or psychological description, what have you.
Of a person.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm so lonesome and so miserable. I'll take it. Sign me up, whatever it takes. Just anything I have to sign.
How about okay. Yeah. And what about talk that had been serious and sober? Serious and sober talk.
Oh yeah, I'm the most sober boy in America. I'm the only sober boy in Appalachia.
That's fantastic.
That's the only talk I accept.
And yeah, our listeners might not be aware, but you do have a very serious, somber side to you.
Oh yeah. I'm a sorrowful boy.
What about thoughts?
For sure.
What about memories that were treacherous? Would you like to have memories that were treacherous?
Oh, I do. Yeah, constantly. I can't think of another type of memory that I have.
And what about lavas that restlessly roll?
Yeah, I think that sums up my stomach.
Does this sum it up for you? These were days when my heart was volcanic. Volcanic heart, a volcanic heart. Does that interest you? Does that perk your rabbit ears up there?
Yeah, I think for someone else, I don't have a very volcanic heart. My heart is just it's just the ashes of a 3-day-old fire.
What about getting lost in the ghoul-haunted woodland of another soul?
I'd try it. I'd give it a shot, just like Bean Mountain, Steak Mountain. I'd try and wander out there a little bit. I'd see if it was for me. I think, sure, yeah. You know what? Sign me up. I'll do it.
Okay.
Yes.
This one's a pick 3, so I'll give you 5. Pick 3. We got nebulous luster, miraculous crescent, duplicate horn, ether of size, tears that are not dry on. Tears that are not dry on. To reiterate again. Nebulous luster. B, miraculous crescent. 3, duplicate horn. 4, an ether of size. 5, the tears are not dry on. I think that's 5.
I'm gonna go away from. It's easier for me to remember 2 than remember 3, but I'm gonna say the size are out. I'm not a sigh man. I'm gonna take the horn out of the mix too.
Duplicate horn.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're left with nebulous luster, miraculous crescent, and the tears are not dry on.
Oh yeah. Love crying. Love mysterious things. Love nebulous things. I like miraculous things. Yeah. I don't know. The horn there's too many animals out here. I feel like if I got one more animal out here, even if that animal is, and I'm the wildest animal of all out here.
Well, what if
one more horned animal out here? Just one too many.
What if I took your miraculous crescent and be-diamonded it?
Well, I'd say let's give it a shot. I think it'd be a lot harder to fly.
Okay. What about cheeks where the worm never dies? Cheeks where the worm never dies.
Digging in that flesh, huh? I'd say let's give it a shot. I'm not sold on that one.
Okay.
But I'd give it a shot.
Okay. Well, just to be clear, she possesses all of these qualities and more. So this isn't a survey.
Oh, mama. Oh, mama Zack, like it.
Wings till they trailed in the dust. In agony sobbed, letting sink her plumes till they trailed in the dust. Till they sorrowfully trailed in the dust.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you, Rick. I'm extremely turned on. I'm feeling like the juices are flowing here. I'm feeling like we're really onto something in a giant way.
I'm glad to hear that because you're getting what you get.
Yeah, I don't.
There's
have
really
a choice.
only one name in my ledger book here.
Oh, baby. Let's hear it.
And it ain't
Let it ring out.
And it ain't Annabelle Lee.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, it ain't that.
I thought it was. But
You could take some guesses.
Is it Rory?
No.
A fella can dream. Is it Morgan?
No.
Let's see. Is it Noah?
No.
Let's see here. Is it Rick? Rick Weaver?
Nope.
Let's see here. Is it Jeff Sagers?
Nope.
Let's see here. It isn't one of my family members.
Nope.
Okay. That's good. That's against the law. Not my dad. We got that out of the way.
Nope.
Not my dad. All right. Not my mom. Got that out of the way. Not her. Is it like a shower liner?
Nope.
Let's see. I don't know. I'm out of guesses.
Let me give you.
I thought it was going to be one of those.
Let me give you a few more clues. fuller than the fullest of the gazelle eyes of the tribe of... Oh, wait, I'm reading the wrong... Hold on. That's a different database. Exultingly radiant of all smiles. The teeth glancing back
my phone?
with a brilliancy almost placid, yet most exultingly radiant of all smiles. With the gentleness of breath, the softness which the god Apollo revealed, but in a dream, to Zack Kouns.
Oh, Dragonfly?
Nope.
Oh. A hiking trail book.
Nope.
Is it animate or inanimate? Are they animate or inanimate?
Sorry, I asked you to guess the name, not to ask questions. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Animate, certainly.
Animate. Camera tripe. Oh, that's...
Camera tripe? Is camera tripe? Is that some kind of chicken phone thing? Well, anyway, looks like we lost Zack here. In the meantime, I'll share some further qualities that his bride-to-be, in the marriage which I am arranging for him, will possess. She'll have the mysteries of the will, weakness of his feeble will, a small salary, the most abstruse of the boasted erudition of the academy, skies that are ashen and sober, leaves crisped, withering, lonesome, a rare and radiant maiden, darkness that gave no token, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the darkness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, Lenore. This I whispered, and an echo murmured back, Lenore. Merely this, and nothing more. Then into the chamber turning, and with all my soul within me burning, soon I heard again a tapping, somewhat louder than before. Surely, said I, surely that is something on my window lattice. Let me see, then, what thereat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, and nothing more. Open here. I flung the shutter, when, with many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he. An instant stopped or stayed he. But with, hold on, let me try to get him again. This thing goes on forever. Let's see what we got here. Try to get him on the horn now. Talking some business. Well, I don't know if I could do this one alone here, folks. I'm just not that kind of radio personality. I get a little bit bored of myself. And, monitoring audio levels and all that, the technical side, it's like you hear your own voice coming in your ears. I guess I could kind of take that off and see how that works. There we go. Well, this is about the hardest sell here. Anyway, we're going to abruptly end this first episode of Grackle Chatter with Zack Kouns and your co-host here, Rick Weaver, speaking. And we are going to continue this odyssey through the skies of wisdom, whatever we were calling it earlier, to descend upon the ground floor somewhere in hot South America, where it's hot year-round, to go indoors to a box store and thusly climb the clean and dirty Bean Mountain up to the top, where a Michelin chef will be preparing a meal, a 3-course meal of bagels, circus peanuts, and more circus peanuts because we're all out of wax teeth this week. Anyway, we'll see you up there next time.